Hey everybody, SketchCraft Megashow has been brought to you by ShopSketchCraft.com. If you want to support the show, go buy some stuff. Get me a coffee. Get Brandon food. Brandon needs food. ShopSketchCraft.com, folks. It helps. Peace. It's the SketchCraft Mega Show!
All right, here goes. I'm about to get some of this delicious soft sushi from 7-Eleven.
Oh, well, hello. That was crunchy.
It's not as soft as I thought it would be.
Oh, no. SketchCraft Mega
I
Show.
thought it was going to be really authentic because it's at 7-Eleven, but it's not.
That's so inconvenient for a convenience store.
But it tastes good. It's
Oh.
delicious and greasy.
Mega
I
Show.
can taste the authentic grease in it.
Mega Show?
I think I need to have a banana Slurpee. I'm going to do it.
Hey, wash that down. Wash it down.
It's good. It's really good. It quenches the palate. The palate. I feel
It's a tsunami of pain.
I feel like I'm on like MasterChef. This is good stuff.
Mega Show. Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm energized for the show.
SketchCraft Mega Show, everybody. Here we
I
go.
drank too much. I got a brain freeze. My brain can't work.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the SketchCraft Mega Show. I'm Rob Duenas. Rob D, a.k.a. SketchCraft. And joining me today is Brandon Mega Potato James. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
All right, a little feedback in your background there, Brandon, but it's all right. We're doing well here in the Sketch Cave. So it's been trace months, I think, since the last podcast. Why? Because, oh man, we have had every technical problem you can imagine. So many technical problems. I literally just had to stop this podcast, refigure some stuff, and get it going again. So
Attempt 87.
you would think like recording video, like just hitting record and being done with it would be enough. Like that wouldn't be such a big deal, but it's apparently a lot of effort.
Yes.
So my original plan with the Mega Show was for Brandon and I to record whenever because we've had some really off schedules past few months. And then
at least.
yeah, and then I would collect them together and put out one big long podcast once a month. Problem with that is, okay, so first, Brandon's computer had to get a new computer. Brandon had to get a new computer,
Correct.
and I had to install that stuff. Took me a couple weeks to do that remotely because you're in one state, I'm in another. When I got that done, I went to go back to the podcast, and then my version of my copy of Adobe Premiere got all goofed up. Like, it was really weird. Like, I would load up the podcast file, and it wouldn't do that. It would say it gave me some error. But if I created a new Premiere file and then imported the old podcast file into that, I could work on it. And then the next time, if I saved it, the next time I'd have to do that same process over again. I was constantly importing. So I had to uninstall that stuff. When I did that, something in my video card blew. I don't know. That computer is like 7 years old. So I chucked that and got the same computer you got. And then I had to install that software. And, God, that just eats up a ton of time, man. And then, what else happened? My father-in-law passed away, funeral, all that stuff. Crazy stories. We'll get into that later. I don't even want to go into that story right now, but let's just say it was shenanigans. Then I came back. I got my Oculus Quest, and new toy, got a little busy, and then I
Yep.
immediately had to finish Megavisions issue 8, and then I had to fly out to New Jersey and New York, and then I had to do other stuff with family, dealing with my mother-in-law, and then I came back, and I'm like, all right, time for Megavisions, and then I got sick, and then unfortunately my cat got cancer. I'm not even kidding, and then like it's just been nuts, man. And then so today I'm like, look, I was telling Brandon, there's no way this 6 hour podcasting idea is going to work anymore. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Right.
So I'm like, why don't I go back to the old part where we just record and upload? Like, I'm going to go to the back to when we were streaming live, so it's done. But I was afraid to stream tonight, given every other technical issue I've been having. Like, if I start streaming tonight, probably will break my whole internet. Right now my wife's
Right.
playing Warcraft, and man, if I break the internet while she's in the middle of that, I'm never going to hear the end of it. So
Oh, you'll be done for.
yeah, and I don't really want to be in any more trouble right now. So I said, Brandon, let's get together at 9 o'clock tonight, and we'll just record this. And I built a little soundboard, so all the sound, like the intro songs you're hearing and stuff, are on a soundboard now, so I can just do it live. I can hit the buttons. And then my audio drivers on my other rig just disappeared on me. Fixed that problem, and then these audio drivers disappeared on me. I got that done. We get together 3 hours later, and we hit record, and then my video was stuttering all over the place. So I don't know, guys. Like, I just think like the podcast is cursed. Like I'm almost at this point to be like, fuck talking podcasts. What's the point? I mean, aren't
Right.
there enough podcasts out there, Brandon? Like, really?
Probably.
So I don't know. I don't like the end podcast. I've done an end podcast. This is it, and I quit it for like 3 years. It's just that when I sit around on the phone talking to Brandon about, I don't know, like the new Spider-Man movie, it's great for an audience of two, but
Right.
we kind of do have like a little bit of install base. Like, crazy part is, Brandon, since I stopped posting videos on the YouTube, the subscribers went up.
What?
So yeah, yeah. So what happens is, like, when I post things, people go, "Oh shit, I subscribe to that dude." Unfollow. That's what I think actually happens. And so when I don't, for some reason, people just seem to find my stuff more. It's so weird. Like, more. You hear like YouTubers normally say things like, "The minute I stop posting videos, I lose money." I gained 25 cents this month not posting anything for the last 3 months.
Ballin'.
I lost 1,000 followers on Instagram. So I've been I'm starting the process of making my own comics, right? And I've been sharing that process through a lot of like technical updates on the Instagram. Like, here's me working out this color scheme. Here's me working out these textures. Here's me working out these compositions. A lot of like traditional drawn compositions.
Right.
And something going on back there, Brandon. You got the fan on?
I'll check.
Yeah. So I've been doing these compositional things, and every time I post one, I lose like 100 followers. So I lost like 1,000 followers posting that stuff. It's chilled out now. I didn't post anything this last week, and it went up 100. So I don't understand how the algorithms work, but I seem to do better when I just don't mess with anything. So
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how they work. I don't even have 1,000 followers, so I don't have 1,000 to lose.
well, Ashley officially surpassed me this year on the Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Follow. Yeah. I knew she. I always told her, one day, pretty soon, you're just going to surpass everything I got going on, because that's just how it works around here. And she's like, "Oh, that won't happen," and it did. And then she's like, "Yeah, Rob, maybe if you, I was like, thanks for the advice, Ashley." I know what I need to do. I need to just not post for like 10 years, and it'll go up to like 1 million people.
Right.
So those are just all the crazy things that have been going on here. But over at your end, Brandon, computer aside, what happened to you?
You want me to talk about my lovely injury, right?
Yeah, just update everyone, man. It's been 3 months. What have you been up to, Brandon?
Well, I'll say this: watch where you walk at night. I was walking my dog in the grassy knoll right next to my place, and usually the yard people do a great job of mowing and weed eating everything. Well, I don't know if they had a new crew or they were just tired that day, but they didn't weed eat the small dips where the the piping for like sewage would go type stuff, where you got that little dark pipes that stick up, and then they got the caps on it. Usually they weed eat down in those holes, and so you see that there's a dip in the grass, so you don't walk over it. Well, I was walking my dog. I stepped right into one of the dips in the hole. My legs went a little too wide, and I didn't tear it off the bone, but I had a quote unquote torn groin.
Torn groin.
Yes.
You said toe going.
Yeah, torn groin. It's a weird back-to-back thing, but everything turned purple, and I mean everything. I look like Thanos from the waist down. Lot of rehab, and I'm still nursing it. It's still not great, but a lot of bruising, a lot of pain, and it was so bad the next morning when I went to my doctor's, and it took me 40 minutes to get in the car. Once I got out, I was unable to lift my leg enough to step on the sidewalk, so I just stood next to my car for about 10 minutes with just tears coming down my face in pain. Like, I don't cry over emotional stuff, but that was so much pain that my brain just shut down. I was like, no, you're good. You're going to die right here leaning against your car. So that took the wind out of me. That was not fun. So I've been spending the last month or two, or however long it's been, just I think going on 2 months or so, just rehabbing that and just trying to get better, living that healthy, fun tater life.
I know, man. And it's like, so I have a bunch of podcasts I follow, and sometimes they disappear. And I always feel like when they give me the reasons why they haven't been posting, I generally just don't care.
Right.
I'm like, just make a new podcast, just continue forward. I mean, do you care? I mean, it's too late now. We've already talked about all this stuff, but like, do you listen to podcasts, Brandon?
I do. I listen to. I wouldn't say I can't name off the head, but I listen to random different things that you wouldn't listen to, which I like. I listen to a sports podcast, fantasy football one, and they always fill us in, the first probably 5 minutes or so about what's been going on and the craziness that goes on in their life of why they can't do certain things. And, I like it sometimes. Sometimes I like to know, like, why didn't you post your thoughts on your updated rosters first thing in the morning? They'll be like, oh, well, my kid threw up on me on my way to work, crazy stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, I can respect that. That's the real shit, because we all have real problems. So I don't like it if people are like, oh, I've been just so busy working or whatever. But if you give me the real stuff, I like that. I like when people are just real about it, like fucked up shit happens to all of us, and you got to have, a sense of humor about it. And I tore my groin, and that shit was funny. Rob gave me shit for a good month. Jokes nonstop.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It happens. I like the real. And we keep it real here in Sketchcraft.
Real stupid. So, yes. I mean, look, I don't know. Like, it was really fun because I was setting up the mega show, so like there would be commercial breaks, and it's kind of this whole like 80s like VHS feel. I was like, this is cool, but now I'm like, I got no time for that, man. Like, between work and trying to draw these comics, and apparently my wife says I have to participate and like shit around here, so you know what I mean? Like, I have to mow the lawn twice a week, which that I enjoy. So one of the podcasts I like to listen to is All the Pouches. Have you heard of this one?
No.
All the Pouches is an Image Comics podcast, and the guy, I forget his name. I'm not good at names. And Brandon, that's true, right?
No, you're the worst.
I'm the worst at names. So the host, he starts the podcast with Image Comics, whatever month they launched, July. I think they launched July '92. And he goes month by month in order what Image Comics came out that month. Sometimes there's no comics, and then he walks through each issue. He goes through Spawn issue 4, Spawn issue 5, Brigade, everything. And he really, and positively, he's not just shitting on it like, oh, it's shitty artwork. He's going at it as if, it was the 90s and you were a fan of it. And so whenever I do yard work, I like to put that in, because that's when I was a kid. That's all I thought about when I did yard work was that one issue of Spawn that came out that month. Might not be for a couple months. So I've been really enjoying that podcast, and I let him know on Twitter. I'm like, your podcast rules. So that's
his name's John Reed's Comics or John.
Yeah, John Reed's Comic. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
He's really good at it. Takes his time, really reads the issues, seems to be passionate about it, so it's cool, man. So if you're a fan of 90s Image Comics, all the patches is definitely fun to listen to. So been listening to that, and then I've been listening to a couple of Oculus Quest podcasts, just like people talking about Oculus Quest, because that's my new passion right now. What else do I listen to regularly? Political stuff, which isn't that important, like Mueller, She Wrote,
I
TYT.
listen to the Fantasy Focus.
Listen to Fat Man on Batman today, the newest one.
Nice.
So apparently Kevin Smith is on a texting friendship again with Bruce Willis because they made up. So nice to know.
Right.
Right. So that's cool. I enjoy that podcast. We'll listen to that today. As my whole studio is a little bit in a flux right now. So with new equipment and I pre-ordered the Arcade 1-Up Star Wars arcade cabinet. Let's see
Nice.
if I can get. Let's see if I can break. Let's see if I can break this. I'm gonna attempt
Oh no.
to use the Cintiq. Let's see if I can do this without.
This is
I know,
gonna be
right?
bad.
Let me type this in. I didn't have this ready, folks. Normally I have all these things queued up, but given how it's going, I just figured let's just do this. I don't intend to win any Webbies. All right, so I know, right? It's
Yeah.
hilarious. Here we go. Let's give this a shot. Everyone wants you to support their fucking ads. So, all right. So this right here is the Arcade 1-Up Star Wars retro arcade cabinet. It's 20 inches wide from this base here up here. It's 45 inches, and this is a riser that goes up, and it's an extra 15 inches, so 60 inches tall by 20 inches wide. It includes the original 80s Star Wars game, the Empire game, and then the really shitty Return of the Jedi game. The Return of the Jedi is all pixel graphics. It's not good. So the original two are vector, like 3D-ish, Star Fox like rail, shooters. Super fun. And Jedi went with isometric pixels. It's fucking horrible. I don't know why. Other than I guess at the time they probably felt it looked old to do the vectors, but it would have been better. But that I figured they announced it at Comic-Con. No, E3. That was their big unveiling at E3. Was the Star Wars arcade cab, and I figured they were gonna charge. I think they're charging $400 for the turtles, so I figured this one would probably be $450 to $500 given the Star Wars upcharge, and $500. So.
Oh, nice.
It's
Worth it.
Such a kick to the grind, bro. You know what I mean?
Worth it though.
So I've been saving up I knew they were eventually going to have one. So last year, was it a year and a half ago when they first came out with the Street Fighter 2s? Was it last year? I think so. Definitely over a year I've been saving up. No, yeah, it was last year E3 because the Megavisions guys and I played the original demo kits. And when I played those, they were like, eventually we're going to do a Star Wars one. We want to. And so I just started saving up.
Right.
$50 here, $50 here. So I've had like $500 just sitting there waiting. And my wife's like, you idiot. But I've always, I grew up in the arcades in 84, 83, 84. So it's going to go right over here. I got to find a way to get it on camera. So it sucks because it would probably fit right there. I might have to move my bookcase. I want to put it right here, but I don't know how to arrange the camera. I'll find a way. Right now, I got my portable air conditioning thing set up because it's so. I don't think you've noticed, Brandon. It's a little warm out right now.
Just a little bit.
Globally.
Just feels like we're melting.
Yeah. So I've had to. I bought years ago. I bought a portable AC unit. So it's been in Saran wrap. Got a little. Let me just put that back up. Got a little dark in here. So I got a little Saran wrap put around that when we moved up to Idaho, but this year I had to finally bust it out. I'm like, it's too hot in the room. So So it's always like 10 degrees hotter because of the equipment,
Right.
no matter where I'm at. But even with central air, it doesn't get that cool up in here. So I just had to get one of those. What else? What else, Brandon? What else?
What all have you been working on, Rob? That you could share.
Top secret stuff I can't talk about. I mean, that's it, folks. Like when you work on projects that literally have, I mean, I have a minimum $10,000 fine attached to my NDAs. Like that's in the contracts. So, and that's standard with anyone when you do like real work, like they'll sue your ass. So I'm like, that could go on a year, 2, 3, I don't know. It could go on. I may never be able to talk about certain things. Like that's the problem when you work on real shit. Just can't talk about it. You disappear.
Right. Yeah. But it is cool that you're working on stuff, that you're making things, you can't share it, but one day you can, and people will be like, oh shit, that's why it seemed like you were gone for so long.
So
you
what
were
I've
actually
been
doing stuff.
What I've been having to do in between is like, so it's 40 to 50 hours a week main job, another 15 to 20 hours sketchcraft, and then weekends stuff around the house and hopefully commissions. But right now my commission time is spent getting the podcast. It's almost like the damn thing fell on its face, and I've like when you see those people trying to build a tent with and 4 poles and one of the poles falling down, and you're grabbing the other poles and you're just like trying to keep it up.
Oh yeah,
feels like that. Feels a lot like that. I mean, but yeah, I got sick big time just from all the flying around and stress and everything. And then I saw Spider-Man twice, and we even recorded a whole Spider-Man review, Brandon, didn't we?
We did do that.
We did. We recorded a whole Spider-Man review. Like we recorded like almost 2 hours of podcast talking about E3 with Andy, and I didn't record any video, so it's all audio. And I'm like, I don't know how to like deal with this because the audio was off. Like you were quiet. I had the audio,
which is not normal.
No. This is just one of those things where the easiest path forward is to just do how we used to do it, just low key. Like no one cared. I'm always just gonna get 100 views. Like I thought, I actually got more views with the 6-hour-long podcast than I got on any of the other ones we've done. 6 hours, dude. 6 hours, Brandon, with the Spider-Verse. And now I have Spider-Verse 3D in VR. So I've ripped not all of them. I'm in the middle of it, but I'm ripping like all my 3D Blu-rays, uncompressed, and I got them on a drive, and that drive streams to my Oculus Quest. So I get to sit. I got over in the game room on the other side. I got a recliner set up for now, and I can sit there and stream 40 gig 3D movie files. And I got my own like IMAX theater. Like I'd say inches wide. You're looking at about at least like a 3 to 400 inch screen.
Right.
View distance, It's impressive. And the closer you sit, because you can change your seating position, the bigger. Oh my god! So, and it's all in 3D. It never loses focus. It's super awesome. So, the last time we did a podcast, we just saw that shit in theaters, and now
it's come full circle.
And now I get to watch it in VR. Like it's crazy sometimes, man. Like I was watching Ready Player One. I was like, wow. Like when this came out, I mean, I didn't think the next time I'd be watching this would be in 3D in VR. That's crazy. So I took the Quest down to the barbershop. I got buddies. My only friends were my barbers. So they're younger dudes, And so I took it down there and walked all of them through. Like there was 3 of them down there, the owner and then the 2 dudes. And one of those guys is my buddy Chase. He cuts my hair. And I just walked them all through that Quest, about an hour each, And now they're all running out to get it, So it's one of those things where you just can't describe to people. They go, well, it's not my thing. And then you use it and you realize, oh, this actually works really well. And one of them was super like susceptible to nausea, and he was like, this is so much fun." I'm like, "Yeah, it's super fun." So, yeah, that's been my passion. But now we're drawing comics and writing comics and coloring comics.
Gonna be making some fun stuff, that's for sure.
I wish I could sound more excited about it, but I could just like I'm excited to work on it, but when I start talking about it, like,
The actual work that needs to be put into it.
which I don't mind, but my shoulder doesn't appreciate it so much.
Right.
I got the in the bone pain right here, you know. So I actually had to switch mice. So I usually use like a normal Amazon Basics mouse, and I had to switch to this vertical mouse. You can kind of see here. It's like a vertical. It's
Oh
like
yeah,
a
I've
little
seen those
Dalek.
online.
Yeah, I switched to that. So I had to get used to using that to at least eliminate, because I was getting forearm pain again for whatever. I don't know why. It's older, man. So I haven't had forearm pain in 10 years. So I'm like,
You're in your
shit.
prime. Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Well, what was that? Amazon Prime Day? That was the big
Yes.
meme going around. Like, remember, Optimus died for your sins. Or something.
For your saving.
Yeah, for your sake. It was hilarious. Optimus Prime memes going around. Never forget he died for you. You know, Prime Day. That's one of the
And
few times the internet like does a good job. You know,
right. It's not hateful. It's actually funny.
I don't think Amazon appreciates it, but I guess if it keeps it going.
I think they'll do okay. I think they can handle it. I think they're a decent enough business, you know. Speaking of, and this is off topic, but I went into Whole Foods the other day on Saturday, and I made a joke something about Amazon, and the lady's like, "Yeah, we're owned by Amazon," and I was like, "Oh well, yeah, they're a huge company." She goes, "No, they own everything." She's like, "They own the cloud storage. They own everything. They own everything here." Like she really like went in this whole like almost like a robot of how much control Amazon has, and I was like, "Cool. So can I just have my dark butter cookies now and leave, please?" Like, shit. She
Everyone's
was
an
really,
expert on the deep state, right?
yeah. She was just like, Amazon now owns all this cloud space. Da, da, da. I'm like, "Oh, okay. I just wanted to buy these cookies that are at Whole Foods. Like, I didn't
Meanwhile,
know."
I'd be like, "Do you know how to make a French omelet, Jacques Pepin style?" I'm just curious. You know what I mean? It's 3 eggs, pinch of salt, half stick of butter, mix up in the whisk fresh chives. You know how to make a French omelet. You know, like she probably doesn't know how to do that, but she's worried about Amazon's cloud store. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
What are you
I had
supposed to
no
do
idea.
about it? You
I
know?
had no idea what to say to her. I just stared at her. I was like, all right, so
It's like
cookies.
when I tell people I draw for a living, they all want to tell me, you know, Marvel's has got all these movies coming out. I'm like, I don't care. You know, I mean, I care as a fan, but like, what am I supposed to do about that? You know,
Yeah.
like, don't go see the movies. Then, like, I don't. If you think they're making too many movies, don't go see them. I mean, Endgame just passed. You know, Avatar. So, oh, that's my favorite one now too. Have you heard about these guys? They're complaining
Mm.
that the end game box office results don't count because it got re-released. And then
Oh,
when you
jeez.
explain to them that Avatar was actually re-released in the theaters a year later, they go, "Well, then it shouldn't count either. It should only be one time." I'm like,
Oh,
"You know,
jeez.
Star Wars was re-released a year after it came out, and then multiple times, every time after
Yeah.
that. Not before '97. Not even like before the
Right.
special editions." Do you? Well, Gone with It. Gone with It was in theaters for like 20 years. Like, like
Jesus.
it was in theaters for a long time, Brandon, because it would just
Yeah.
bring them back out. Because you want winners. People go out to see it. There wasn't any TV, you know. So yeah, guys, just chill out on the box office results. Not so dumb. I'm like, I never saw it leave the theaters. No, they added stuff and put out more marketing. Then whatever, wouldn't you? I mean, I have to
Right.
think about this. Never hear the end of it when someone has a Kickstarter going on, right?
Right.
You made an extra 20 grand the last few days of your Kickstarter, but it doesn't really count because you advertised after you launched, and it shouldn't. Now they're going to set limits on when you can advertise. It's like I always think like, what if it were you doing this? You wouldn't have a fucking problem with it, you know?
No,
Like,
not at all.
you'd be telling people, man, you got to promote, you got to get your stuff out there, no one should stop you. But I guess just when it's inevitable when anyone gets to the number one position, they're gonna get shit on, you know. So
Oh yeah,
that's how it goes.
everybody wants to knock the king off.
Meanwhile, folks, so you know, I have 3D Titanic, 3D Avatar, 3D Avatar Special Edition, and Infinity War 3D all on my Oculus Quest VR. So, boom, Endgame coming soon. So yes, in 3D. So I'm gonna have a great time. I just keep them rolling, Marvel. Just keep them rolling. You know, because I saw Spider-Man twice. So check this out. So, the last Marvel movie I did T-shirts on. Stop breathing in the mic, Brandon. So there's this wind noise going on your end. It's so annoying. What is that?
My fan is on, but it's always on every
Turn
time
the
we
fan
record.
off. Turn it off.
I will get up and turn it off.
Please, for the love of God, turn it off. So I'll keep going, folks. So the last Marvel movie that I did T-shirt work on was Civil War. So after Civil War, every Marvel movie has almost been a secret to me. Every now and then I have friends that they send me things ahead of time. And about almost a year out from Far From Home, a buddy of mine sent me some early work on Mysterio. Right?
What?
And I may or may not have shared that with Brandon.
Maybe.
Right?
It might happen.
Yeah. And I was like, I can't wait to see this movie. Like, this shit looks incredibly awesome. So then they announced all the casting and everything else. Then I got final renders of the suit, and I was like, this is fucking amazing. It looks just like the thing. I can't wait. So, movie comes out. I bought tickets in advance, like the day they came out. Like, this was like, I want to say a month after Captain Marvel, because it was before Infinity War I got the tickets.
Right.
And all my friends were like, Into the Spider-Verse is going to be better. I'm like, it's already out. I already bought the Steelbook 3D Blu-ray. I can go see two. What world are we living in? I feel like the comic book fan community online is like the worst parts of the Nintendo Sega console war generation. You know, where it's like, you can't own a Genesis if you own a Super Nintendo. I fucking own them all.
Right.
You know? I win. I get to play all the cool games. Whatever. So I was super excited to go see this. And then after Infinity War, you know, like always, I figured people were really going to want to go see Spider-Man after, you know, the end game. And that happened, Brandon. So I go to see the movie. I came out of it, and I immediately called Brandon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what did I tell you?
You said you want to go back in and see it a second time.
I was supposed to go home and make dinner, but I swear to God, if I didn't have to do that, like I call my wife, I'm like, do I have to come home and make dinner? Because I really just want to buy another ticket, go right and watch the movie. Like, you know, it's another 15 minutes of previews. I can get to see. And she was like, dinner. I'm like, I promise it's pizza night. So, you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to make people not get pizza. So she got me on that one. I'm like, oh, fine. So then I took her the day after. We went back and we saw it again. So I saw it twice that opening weekend. So I definitely got the flu from the movie theater. Now I'm thinking when I get sick at a movie theater, Brandon, I'm just going to go find the most packed showing of any movie there is and just get everyone fucking sick. Because I'm tired. I owe, especially the kids' movies, I owe them at least one or two bouts of the flu. But I told you, look, if you want, you're going to want to see this thing in 3D. You know, if you can go see IMAX 3D, because the Mysterio stuff alone is worth the price of admission. I think it's the best 3D. Look, I know a lot of you fans out there aren't fans of 3D, but go find some other podcasts. I love the shit. You know, I don't like bad 3D when it's dark and out of focus.
Right.
I want super clear, super bright, in focus 3D. And when it works, it's fucking amazing. And Spider-Man, like when they're in the gondolas in, like, you know, in Italy. I mean, that alone looks awesome, but all the stuff.
You feel like you're there.
Yeah, and then the Mysterio sequence alone just worth the price of admission in 3D, man.
Oh yeah,
so good. So, yeah, and I guess that just passed $1 billion. You know, and they said go ahead.
Oh, you called me and you're like, hey, you got to go see this IMAX 3D. So I bought and that was on Tuesday. It came out on a Tuesday, right?
Yeah, I saw it Tuesday at 4 p.m.
Okay, so you called me,
Crazy.
around 6 because I was on my way to my night job that night, and you were like, "Hey, get tickets like right now." So I bought my IMAX 3D tickets for Friday, and I was like, "All right, I'll go Friday night." And so I go do my job, and then you're like, "Man, this movie's so good." I'm like, "All right, you know what? I can't wait." So I buy tickets for a Thursday showing on 4th of July to go see it in Santa Capri, which is it's not as big as IMAX, but it's a big screen, but it's not 3D. And I saw it, and I fucking loved it. But then I was so happy that I also had my tickets for the next day to go see it in IMAX 3D. Because once I saw it in IMAX 3D, it was like watching it like I hadn't watched it the day before. It was just so amazing.
Yeah, it was super, super awesome, super fun. I loved every bit of it, dude. I don't got my only complaints was the cups that they sell at the movie theater. You know, you get those collector's cups. They should have had like the Mysterio. It should have been a Mysterio cup, all green with the little cape and like the dome.
The dome top.
Yeah, the dome top. It should have been Mysterio.
Like icy.
Yeah, the cup should have been a Mysterio cup. Like that was like I just said waste, and I was obviously harassing the people at the movie theater. Like I got them the way people get me. I was like, you should tell your people that the cup should be Mysterio. No one cares. So that was my only complaint because what they were charging for that cup was ridiculous. Oh, you couldn't get a medium popcorn and the cup. You had to get the large tub of popcorn. And I'm like, I couldn't eat all that fucking popcorn if I wanted to. And it was like $30. So I was like, fuck it. They'll get me with the cup this time. But next time they don't have the cup ain't super fucking special. I ain't doing it. You know what I mean? Right. I gave the popcorn to a family behind me. I didn't even touch it. I'm like, you want this popcorn? I'm not even going to touch it. And she's like, kids were like, yeah. First she tried to fight me. No, I don't want it. You don't want a free fucking popcorn? You know what I mean? Like sitting here. You know what I mean, Brandon? Would you? I don't know. Americans are weird.
Now we're like, why? Why would you do to it?
No, she just set it down. I don't want the popcorn. I just want the cup. Would you like to have my popcorn? No, I'd rather spend $30. I don't. The kids were like, yeah, free popcorn, Mom. She's like, oh, well, all right, So I was like, fine, I'll just take the popcorn, dump it out. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this. So they got me with that, but whatever, So I never buy shit at a movie theater. I normally only buy popcorn once a year, and that's with Star Wars. But they got me last night with Tarantino's movie. So I went and saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, I go see every movie of his in the theater. I've seen them all except Reservoir Dogs because no one had that in the theater when I was in high school, where I lived. So, but since Pulp Fiction, I've seen every movie of his in the theater. I mean, it's only 9 of them, so it hasn't been that hard. And I went by myself. I love the movie. It's not for everybody, but if you just grab some popcorn and a soda and kick back and just enjoy 3. It was 3 hours. I could have gone 12.
Oh wow!
Like I could just watch the characters in this universe just living their lives, doing shit all fucking night long. So I loved it. And I'm not even a big fan of the 60s. It takes place in the 60s. Not my favorite, time period. But definitely fun to watch. I was in LA last year during E3 when they were filming that. So Kyle and I drove through a lot of the streets they had cordoned off where they were redressing for the 60s. So that was cool to see. It's a Cinerama Dome and everything else. So it was pretty dope. I enjoyed the movie. I might go see it again one more time. I'll probably I think Tuesdays or Thursdays is those $5 nights. Probably go then, Go see it on a $5 night. So, because I'll be the only one in the theater.
I'll wait until Netflix.
By the way, I came back home and I had to kill an hour last night to reset my sleep. So I went on to Netflix in VR, and they have a VR app, and so Tarantino did a Hateful Eight extended edition. But what he did is he took all the extra footage and recut the movie into an 8-episode series. About an hour each episode.
That's
so it's like 8 hours with Hateful Eight. And I tell you, man, I love it. I didn't the movie I was okay on. I kind of felt like with that movie that I wish they had set it in a busted out Civil War mansion, like
Hmm.
a shelled out mansion or something. Something that was a little bit, because it's kind of like an Agatha Christie novel, a who done it, who murdered someone. But the space that they're in is so friggin' small. I'm like, well, it's one of three people in this room.
Right.
So I had wished that that setting had been bigger, you know. That being
Gotcha.
said, because the length is much longer now, the pacing's way different. I really enjoy this version of it a lot. So if you like the Hateful Eight, we're on the fence. Check out the extended edition on Netflix. Super cool
Hmm.
and 1,000 times more brutal. So it's definitely not for kids. I mean, I would have loved it when I was a kid.
Right.
So I'm hoping he does the same thing with this movie. Gives me a nice 8 hour, 9 hour version of this.
He will. Just for you.
Did you go see Lion King?
No.
Didn't go see nothing. Just been playing volleyball, haven't you?
I wish.
No, volleyball. Oh, that's right. You're still hurt.
Yeah. I don't do much of anything.
You
I go to
you
the
will
gym.
like this movie. There's some dog stuff in here you would really like.
All right.
Yeah, it reminded me of you and Gamora. Put it that way.
Fair enough.
So
Best friends. Got
let
it.
people know who I'm talking about. So the only I'm talking about Zoe Saldana.
Right. Gamora is my rescue pit bull. She is my world. She is my princess. If a house full of people is on fire, I'd save her and we'd watch the fire.
The more I think about it, Brendan, I think this movie is closer to your and I's relationship than I. Yeah, I think you should see this movie. It just dawned on me right now. Like this is very similar to our relationship. Yeah, it's funny.
Good to know.
Like if we lived in the same town, we'd probably be living this life. Like
Right.
yeah, it's funny. What else? Oh, the soundtrack is dope too. So the soundtrack, it's on. I have that Google Play Music, so you can listen to
Hmm.
whatever. I'm sure it's on Spotify. I don't fucking know. But they, in between all the songs, they took clips from an LA radio station in the '60s. It was Boss 30. It's a real radio station, so it has like commercials and bumpers and stuff. And the DJ, whatever talking. And I don't know how much of it is real and how much of it they added. Like
Hmm.
if it's all like I gotta look into it. I know some of it's real because one of them is back in the '60s. The radio station did this Batman promo where you had to like guess Batman's what's that? The phone. What's the phone? The commissioner, the red phone. Remember this from the '60s
Yeah,
Batman
yeah,
show?
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
The bat phone. I know, right?
Yeah.
Like, how could I
Right.
forget bat insert fucking item? So you had to guess the bat phone's number, and it was actually Burt Ward and Adam West doing the promo spots. So that's at the end of the credits, but it's also at the end of the soundtrack. So it's a cool soundtrack to put in and listen to. So '60s
Yeah.
music might not be your thing, but I enjoyed it. What else, Brandon? What else? You got to have something to share. What'd you bring to the table?
Not a heck of a lot. I helped you here and there on small things, but that's all that's kept me busy is doing some practice art for some future project we're going to work on.
You haven't been that productive. I don't think you have.
I'd say
Doing the math.
mediocre productive.
Yeah, you've been less productive than you should be. What's your excuse?
I
See?
got nothing.
You got nothing. Got nothing. How's the Twitch channel going for you?
I don't got time to play video games.
Time. So that's my daily workout now, is in the VR. So I do 30 minutes of Beat Saber, and I do 30 minutes of Box VR. And on Friday nights, if I got a couple hours, I play. I back out the 2 cars in my garage, and I
Hmm.
set up the whole area, and then I play like Robo Recall. I was like murdering robots for an hour the other night. Going full
Sounds
Matrix
fun.
too, like slowing down and dodging the bullets, pulling out the dual
Right.
shotguns, doing the cable. They could give me some katanas, it would be awesome. So, yep. What else? It's actually too much shit. Still playing Dragon Quest. Almost. I'm about 70% of that. That's like 30 minutes. Just enough time after dinner to go back to work. But I gotta have to chill out on that. I'm gonna have to like basically leapfrog. So like one Friday I can do VR. The next Friday I could do some Dragon Quest. So yeah.
Maybe you should be streaming on Twitch.
No, no. I actually follow Let's Players. They're much better at it. I'm not. I don't talk when I play. Like I'm not gonna be like, hey everybody, you know. And then the regular gameplay shit, just I don't care if I get everything. You know what I mean? I don't care if I collect. I just want to play through the fucking game. So it's a long game though, man. You know, I've looked at different Let's Play videos to figure out where I'm at, just so you know you got to gauge, you know. And I think I'm like around 70%. 70%. You
It's
know,
still a long ways to go with that.
maybe. Yeah, it's still a long ways, so it's a ridiculous amount of time.
I bought the missus the new Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem 3 Houses or something.
Is she playing
So,
that?
not really. She got in about 30 minutes of it when she took a break today from working on magazine stuff or whatever she was working on, where she's got to go over with you. She was like, "Yeah, I got to have all this finished by tomorrow." And then she took like a 30-minute break. It said she was going to take a nap, and then I hear her in there starting up the Fire Emblem. I'm like, "Yeah, you're not going to take a nap." And she's like, "Nah, I just wanted to play it for like 30 minutes before I had to get back to that." I was like, "All right."
Yeah, I've been training her on helping with Megavisions magazine, doing a lot of file prep. So she's been collecting game screens and then plugging them into the layouts so I can do airbrushing and all the artsy stuff, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So she's been doing that, and she's complete on issue 9. So she'll hand that off to me first week of August. And then she's working on the final version of the Game Cave map after that, the world map. So I need it to be isometric because I'm going to use it in layouts. So I had to do a base isometric sketch.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll cover that more in a Game Cave development podcast. We'll probably record Friday. Because those guys in the Kickstarter are like, what's going on? And I'm like, guys, you know, like it's coming. Just, you know. Apparently,
Right.
I've been told that they want me to make an itemized list of what's complete. You know, that itemized list might be not much, you know, like some weeks. So, I mean, I spent the last year working on it only on weekends and then doing the power prints during the week. And now the power prints was complete because I paid out the last. Dude, it was only like 50. No. It was like 20 people out of like 150 dudes, you know, or people, it was
Mm-hmm.
like 20 left were holding out for the. I'm like, I got to get out of this. So I got rid of that. And I didn't realize that when I did that, the last thing I wanted to do was go back and work.
Right.
You know, I was like, I could stop. I could stop working for a little bit.
Never.
They don't want to hear that. So back to work on that. Some good progress though. So hopefully Friday night I'll be able to make a video for that and then itemize whatever's done. It fucking takes hours for me to type out shit, dude. Like I don't think people realize how much effort it takes for me to type. I mean, Brandon understands when I send him text messages that
I play hell trying to figure out what you're saying to me half the time. I just piece together like it's like when I hear Spanish, right? And I know enough to I could be like pick up a few things here and there and be like understand the context of the situation. And same goes for your text messaging. It's like there'll be probably I don't know 50% real words and then like just mixed up words that make no sense. So I'm just like, wonder what he meant by this one. And then I guess half the time.
it's almost
really
like you
bad.
need your Sketchcraft decoder ring,
Pretty much.
you know, to like, decipher. Where on the keyboard was he supposed to click, but he really clicked this button, you know?
Yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
that's what it goes down. I try using the voice to chat, but half the times I really, like, I'll be like Kyle, and it will literally spell out the Jewish word that's offensive, You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The offensive, derogatory word for Jewish people. Like, I'm like, whoa, shit, that's not what I meant. Like, like if I say that stupid Kyle and it misspells it into a derogatory word, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't look good
Yeah.
for me, man. Like, and it's like, oh no, I gotta stop with this. So I tried to swipe, but I think my finger case is messing up some of the swipes. It's not helping. So yeah, now I just call you, which annoys you too. Like, no, I don't. It's like I don't even know you have a job. Like,
Nope, not at all.
right? Just call 5
Hmm.
times a day.
Oh yeah. And you always sound not mad and not annoyed, but when I gotta get off the phone, it's like you're like, ugh, fine.
Oh, I
I'm
just
like, hey
hate talking
Rob.
on the phones. No,
Yeah.
because
I'm
no
like
one can
Rob,
hear you on the phone.
yeah. I'm like, I gotta finish my work, and you'd be like, all right,
Yeah,
bye.
yeah, fine. Okay, bye. Like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. People think I'm like annoyed with them, but I'm not. Just, I'm out. So, what else? I don't think I'm going back to the movies till Star Wars. I don't think.
No reason to.
I don't think there's anything else I can think of. Oh no, Downton Abbey. So, I know you laugh, but I watch it. So September.
That you do.
Yeah. There's a little British place that serves tea and crumpets, all that stuff around here. So my wife and I will get all dressed up, and we will, and we will go down.
I want to see pictures.
Huh?
Pictures.
What?
Pictures or it didn't happen.
We'll say. What else? Oh, and I am going out in October to hang out with you for a couple days.
Can't wait.
So maybe we'll do an extra special audio only podcast. I don't know
That'd
what
be
for.
awesome.
Who cares? I don't even think anyone listens to the fucking audio version anymore. I should stop paying for that. But I don't know what to do with it. You know? So I canceled all that stuff, and then people were like, I wish I could just get it on my phone. And I'm like, why do I listen? I'm like,
Right.
then, I don't know, put the YouTube app on your phone. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? So it definitely feels like this past year, all the like social media stuff and all the interactions we've had have slowed down quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I just got to remind people, man, like the minute I took the Spyro job, I mean, everything had to stop on some level. You know, like first off, I can't risk inadvertently spoiling shit. Like
Right.
I was listening to Kevin Smith's podcast today, and him and Mark Bernard are working on something top secret that they can't share yet. And then Kevin let drop that it wasn't announced at Comic Con, but it will definitely be announced by August. And then Mark Bernard was talking about DC announcements at Comic Con, and then he finished with, I mean, I know they're working on cool stuff. I could tell you. And then he had to stop himself. He's like, damn it. You know what I mean? He's like, but if I say
Right.
anything, they'll fire me. If Kevin says anything, you know. So, and then you can just hear, if you listen to it, I haven't seen the video that they put on YouTube, but when you hear it, I could hear Kevin like, shut up. I could hear the silence, you know, like, stop talking. Why would you even tease things you can't talk about? It's tough, right?
Oh yeah.
So the way I plan it around here, man, is we should just talk about everything well after it's out.
Yes.
Like Spider-Man, like we've all seen it, you've all known it, can't possibly spoil, you know, except for the 3 people who've been holding out, like whatever. Same with Endgame. So yeah. What else? Oh, I had to replace my scanner, so I had that Mustech A3. Finally
Uh-huh.
died on me. I don't know what to do. I was gonna get an all-in-one Workforce, which is like these Canon ones that are bulky. They have a flatbed scanner and a 4-ink system for printing, which I thought was going to be great, except that the reviews on the printing were really bad. I don't need photo quality prints, but I need it to work. And the printing part is, I don't know. So I got this wireless Canon printer because the printer Mike got me 3 years ago. 3 years now, man. It's crazy. Finally jamming up. And I didn't realize at the time that the ink system was 8 inks and 4 of them are grays. So I gotta get rid of this thing, you know.
All
So
right.
I got a new Canon that was 150, and it's only 5 inks, but CMYK black plus an extra black ink, so it's like 2 blacks. That thing is brilliant. and it's tiny. So I didn't know what to do with the scanner. So I got this document camera. It's like a camera that sits above and photographs. Because I was like, I don't need super high res images, just good photos. And the photos were horrible, so I'd return that. So my next trick is to get. I got this 8.5 by 11 scanner coming, but it has auto stitching software, and you can take the top off. So I'm gonna try laying an 11 by 17 down, like a couple scans, and let the software stitch it together. See how that works out. If that works, then I'm gonna just stick with that.
Right. Sounds cool.
Because they overcharge for these A3 scanners. It's not like you're buying 2 scanners worth of materials. Like they want $1,000. Mark Brooks even went on Twitter and he was like, "What can I do to replace my Mustang?" And they were going through this whole thing, workforces, and all the pros like Danny Meeky and those guys were like, "You got to get these Epsons, and they're like $5,000, you know." And he's like, "I don't know about all that, you know." I'm like, "Well, Mark, you just sold all that art to fucking Lucas, like, you know, like a year ago. Like you probably should, you know, he does all those paintings." But I don't do anything like that, so that's on the way. I'm gonna give that a shot. And then anything else? Are we all done? We're hitting the hour mark here. Is there anything, Brandon, you want to talk about?
I got nothing.
So shout out to Streecher for bringing up whether we ever have a podcast coming out. Hector, as always, Hector. Dom, don't think Dom and them had a new kid, or they got a new kid around there somewhere. So Dom's got a new kid.
Oh, wow.
Ash continually posts that he's in a relationship with the same girl. I don't know. I'd always get updates. I'm in a relationship. I'm like, you're the same person. Brandon's still Brandon.
All day, every day.
Ashley's doing well. She did her Kickstarter. She did well. And I backed that, so she's shipping me my goods.
Nice.
That's cool. And then, yeah, so we're just going to be moving toward. So here's the thing. We're going to do this podcast regularly every other week. In between, I'm going to make those the real-time videos. I've been recording everything. So I'll get those going because those are easy to just drop in and render out. So I'll get those going. And I don't know if I'll have them every week, but in between. I'll be able to get that going. And then the goal is to stream live on Sunday nights or Sundays or whatever when I draw. Saturday and Sunday when I draw. So I got commission work I got to do for the Game Cave stuff because I did some art, and when Josh sent me back all my stuff, half of the art was missing for whatever reason, and I'm not going to remake it because I'm not going to draw shit I drew 5 years ago. So I got to refigure that part out. So it's like 15 pieces of art I got to fucking conjure up. So that's the thing. Anything else, Brandon? I keep asking you. Give me a chance to talk. Everyone fucking wants to hear you talk. I want everyone to know Brandon doesn't say shit unless I make him.
That is true, unless I'm being forced.
Yeah, so normally what I have to do is make Brandon start a document, and then I have to make you read the stuff from the document. And I knew you wouldn't have anything prepared.
I got nothing.
I knew you would have zero prepared, right? Now,
That's how I do it.
The last time we talked about the Spider-Man review, the one I didn't post. I mentioned this tattoo of yours, and Brandon got all butthurt. So I want Brandon to know he has lots of pretty tattoos.
Again.
And I would never, ever, ever complain about someone's tattoos. On the record. Right, Brandon? I would not do that. So.
Again, and I say this, you could dislike the tattoo of the character, but the work that I got is very nice work.
That's what I said. It's very nice.
Regardless of you liking the character, was my point. But you like. The problem is,
you can hear it now, folks. You can hear it.
Rob likes to talk shit, but I can't talk shit back to Rob. Rob will get. It won't let me back on the podcast. So it's a one-way dictatorship friendship here. I can't talk shit back. So when you talk shit to me, I have to be like, how can I somehow word this or I could still be friends with you?
You're the megatator, I'm the dictator. How about that?
Yes.
I know, emphasis on the D. I know. All right, everybody, we're going to head out of here. We're going to be back soon-ish. I swear we'll get this all going again. And then you'll be like, I wish you'd stop making podcasts and just finish the stupid Kickstarters. So
Right. That's how it's going to go.
I get that, too. I see you making podcasts, not finishing things. Like, am I supposed to be working on this every fucking moment? So it's
Yes.
coming, folks. It's coming. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Brandon, say goodbye, Brandon.
Bye, everybody.
Look at that. I even got the wrong ending music going. It says weekly podcast. And it's not the new ending that I made where I'm like turning off the computers and shit. I forgot to render that out. So Ghetto Craft. That's what we should call this shit.
Sounds about right.
Ghetto Craft, the podcast made dirt cheap.
We put no money into this.
The fact that I'm doing this is what for?
Right.
For Streeter, my one foreign fan. Because Brandon complains when I don't.
There you go.
He goes, when are we doing the podcast? When are we doing the podcast? When are we doing the podcast?
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah, it's just gonna keep going, isn't it? We got. It says quick end. How is this a quick end? I labeled this weekly quick end.
Jeez.
It's not quickly ending. I thought it would be that, you know, where it goes to the logo.
Right.
It didn't go to the logo. Do I have that somewhere around here? I got it somewhere around here. All right. I think I found it. 1 second. It's almost over. I think I can hit the button because it's time to go. Say goodbye, Brandon.
Bye, everybody.
It works! Still hear Brandon typing.